Welcome in to Rock Hard Ball, part of the Dogs Media Network at College Football Dogs. Let's get rock hard.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another edition of Rock Hard Ball. As always, I'm Carter. That's Weezy. No Colin tonight. He is once again suspended for being horrible at his job. Not seriously. He just had stuff going on, so he couldn't be here tonight. But we're back on a Monday for the first time in a while, so good to be here. Good to have you guys all join us for it. Got a lot of recap stuff to go over today. College football, Week 9, NFL Week 8. Maybe we'll talk a little bit of World Series at some point, or Weezy will anyways. I'll maybe contribute where I can. Watched a little bit of it, but
we have a guy to maybe bring in, but I don't know if he's going to ever come out for that.
He never will. I think he's a little camera guy. It would be good though. Sure, it would be. NBA. I don't know if we'll really get into that too much yet. It's pretty fresh in the season. There hasn't really been any major developments yet that I can think of off the top of my head, other than the ones we kind of already touched on with guys sitting out the season. So nothing too crazy going on there. As that ramps up though more, and then eventually as we get through the end of baseball and football and stuff like that, we of course will pick up some basketball stuff as well. For those who've been around since the start of Rock Hard Ball, that's kind of what we started with. Really was basketball. A lot of NBA talk when we first started.
Well, we started at playoffs, right?
Yeah. So we'll get back to that a little bit, but yeah,
there's only so much you can talk about, like spring games and shit, and then it's like, all right, Jesus, like it's July, like we got to stop talking.
Yeah, no, we try to do as much football as we can, but yeah, at a certain point we just can't do it. I don't know, maybe for the dedication of the show, I'll try and get more into baseball next year so that we can maybe add some more baseball content. But
would certainly help.
Yeah, I'll do my best. We'll see. Anyways, enough housekeeping stuff. For those who are maybe new, we're live every Monday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Central Time. For those who've been here for a while, you know that we've been kind of bad about Mondays for a while, but I think we're hopefully finally back on track with that a little bit, at least until maybe Thanksgiving. We should be able to hit every Monday until that point. So we thank you guys for joining us back here again on a Monday. Also, make sure you check out the socials at Rock Hard Ball, at Rock Hard Ball Pod. Make sure you follow that stuff so you can stay up to date with what we got going on. I haven't said it in a while, but again, if you aren't following our Facebook, it'd be ideal if you did. We can stream you there again, would be great. So, if you got a Facebook account, haven't liked your page, go like it. That'd be awesome. All right, enough of that bullshit. Let's get to the actual college football Week 9 recap. Go through some of the major matchups, talk about them a little bit, and then we'll just run through maybe a couple other ones that are worth it. For the most part, we'll just focus on the big ones that actually matter. First things first, let's talk about Friday night's game. Boise State stays in control of the group of 5. Boise State and UNLV, we talked about on Thursday, had a big matchup this week that was going to have a lot of big-time playoff implications as far as the Group 5 playoff spot goes. These two were definitely the two teams that most people thought were going to lead up to this point in the season. It was at home for UNLV, so a little bit of a bump there for them in terms of the home field advantage. However, it was Boise State, who was ranked 17th at the time, going in there, getting the win 29-24. I think it was important for Boise State in this one. Mostly because they prove that they can do it without Ashton being God.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, it's like he still had 140 yards and a touchdown, but like watching the whole game, like they gave it to him 33 times. He didn't really break any of them. I think his first 3 runs, he got tackled for a loss. He had to be able to keep winning, obviously, like that without, the greatest running back in the league. Big shout out to Maddox Madsen, too. He looked really good.
Yes, and that's you kind of hit everything I was going to talk about there. Gene T, again, still had a good game. Like, wasn't bad by any means, but he just wasn't, far and away the best player on the field at all times. UNLV, tried stacking the box early and often against them. They were going to make Boise State beat them in a different way. They did a very good job of that. Like I said, Maddox Madsen, good day throwing the ball. Also, really good day with his legs as well. Specifically, his one carry that he had for 49 yards. That was a big one. And then UNLV, still kind of hats off. They competed. They got down into a little bit of a hole early on, scored 14 in the third quarter. Just ended up not being enough. Again, they ended up coming out with a loss here. I still think, though, that this game probably showed a lot of people that they are probably the second best team in the group of 5, maybe third, depending on who you ask.
Yeah, but after that, though, it's almost got to be considered like a lockup that Boise is going to get that last spot, right?
Yeah, the one, I guess, probably hang-up that you could have is that UNLV and Boise State are both in the Mountain West.
True. So if they could play each other again.
They play each other in the conference championship game, UNLV wins, you have to put them in as the conference champion. Unless, I guess, then we could just have maybe a different conference.
Yeah.
Have the bid. But yes, as of now, Boise State 100% controls their own destiny to that playoff spot. Just keep winning games, I think they get it. So That's that. Also, let's just touch on it really quick. We can maybe. I don't think we didn't get a Heisman graphic ready this week. But we will mention that GT dropped to like third in the Heisman odds from one game. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Which almost tells you like they don't want him to win it anyways. But so what? Travis is now officially probably in the lead by a lot.
No, I believe it's still in Gabriel. I'm gonna pull it up for sure here.
Really?
I'm pretty sure it's Dylan Gabriel. Yeah, Dylan Gabriel is the odds-on favorite. Looks like it's on Vegas Insider. They have a bunch of different, odds. Every single book on there has him as either the favorite or there's one book that has him as tied. I don't know whose this is. Oh, it's Vegas Insider's own book, I think.
And who they have Hunter and Gabriel tied, or do they have
Caesars. Caesars has him tied.
Or Gabriel and GT.
Gabriel and Hunter.
Yeah.
Gabriel's the favorite on all books except for Caesars. They're tied. GT is in fourth on every single book.
That's such bullshit.
Yeah.
That 140 and a touchdown like almost eliminates you in Vegas's eyes.
It's why? It was 12 yards less than 140, so that's why they.
Oh, gotcha. All right, dick.
Yeah, no. Well, I wasn't even like being funny. I was just saying like,
okay.
Playing devil's advocate there. But yeah, no, it's stupid. For sure. Like I don't know why you ever even put him as the favorite to begin with if you knew that after one game like this you were going to plummet.
Yeah, like, it's just like why make him at the top if you know like if he doesn't go literally perfect the rest of the way, it's like we're going to drop him all the way to 4, which now he's just surviving to get an invite according to their eyes.
Yeah, no, seriously. No, 100% what this has told us is that if he doesn't break the record, maybe like 100 yards, but he's not going to win.
which is
ridiculous because it was a record that people thought would be like unsniffable, if that like makes sense.
If he breaks like 32, 33 touchdowns, I don't know exactly what the yard record is. I know like he's fallen off a little bit after last week and the week before. I'm pretty sure.
Actually, he hasn't even still, I don't think, fallen too far off pace on the total record.
I thought he was like 500.
The deal was that Barry did in 11 games, so his 11 game pace is way off now. But I still think and I think they counted even as high like conference championship weekend. So I think he's actually still not too terribly far off if they were to.
But even if he doesn't get any of those records, but he comes dangerously close and they make it to the playoff as that group 5 bid, and they lose one game and they lose 2-3 from Oregon,
who might
finish as the number one team in the country. How do you not get an invite?
He has to get in there. I mean, as far as the invites go, the invite, I guess if you want to call it invite odds, are a huge gap. I don't know if there's actual odds on like an invite alone, but GT is between plus 400 and plus 500 in every single book to win the Heisman. The next highest odd candidate is Cade Klubnik, and he is his best odds is plus 1,300. But other than that, everything is plus 15 for him. So obviously, they're saying that there's a very, very likely chance that these are the 4 invites.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, that makes sense to me, right? We're deep enough in the season where, Dylan Gabriel. Do they even have another game to lose on that schedule?
Who, Oregon?
Yeah. I know they go to Michigan, which Michigan's not good, but could be a little trappy.
Probably not.
And then that's it. If like and that's not even one really.
Maybe. I mean, probably not for this week. But Wisconsin maybe give them a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like on paper they're going to go undefeated, but like you said, like I think Michigan and Wisconsin could give them trouble.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, Dylan Gabriel 100% be in the race. Should be a decent chance to win. Nathan asked what are Cam Ward's odds. He is third on virtually every book, but Cam Ward is closer to Gabriel and Hunter than GT is to Cam Ward.
Okay.
So like one has him at 250, 275, 275, 425. Another one has 230, 270, 300, 440. So, I mean, yeah, the GT's again, they basically said he's going to have to carry the ball for probably 250 plus yards a game, at least 2 touchdowns a game. Otherwise, there's zero chance of winning the actual Heisman. So, which again is ridiculous. We're gonna have some random college kids doing a podcast a few years down the road saying just like we did with the Monty Ball a few weeks, like what was that, a month or 2 ago?
Yeah.
When we looked at that race, how the hell did he not win that Heisman? I don't know. Especially he played for Wisconsin, which is a Power 5 program at the time. Power 5 is still a thing. So yeah, it's wild that he just automatically gets cut out like this.
I mean, it's just such a quarterback dominant, award at this point.
Like Travis Hunter, they pointed out he had 2 games in a row where he had like 35 receiving yards and like 50 receiving yards. His odds didn't drop at all.
Yeah.
From back to back.
What Gene should do is just like
ball, but
Gene should like 3 to 4, maybe 5 times a game. Just put him in there as like a high safety. Like look at our guy.
Yeah,
this guy's a dual threat.
Yeah, that might be the move. All right, we probably maybe spent enough time here. Kobe said, "Glad to see Weezy keeping them dogs contained tonight." Hashtag no free feet.
I actually, funny you said that. I didn't have socks on at the time, so I was like, I'm just not gonna put them on now. Then I realized like my feet actually, when we are here, are in the camera a good amount, so I don't need my dogs.
Yeah, put the foot up.
Yeah.
I do actually have dogs out tonight, so we'll no free feet, so I'm not gonna show them. But all right, let's move forward with the other games. We mentioned Oregon. We might as well go to their game next. They dominated Illinois. Again, clearly for this, second out of the 2 out of the last 3 weeks, I guess, in the college football season, have looked like they're the best team in college football with not a lot of question. Illinois, very solid team this year, ranked 20th in the country. Came into the game, just a couple losses, one being to Penn State, and then this being their second loss now to Oregon. So their 2 losses now on the year are to the number 1 and number 3 team in the country. But this was a dominating performance.
Yeah, I mean, it was never close.
Mm-hmm.
That's just kind of what Oregon is at this point, right? Obviously, number 1 team in the country. And like you said, I mean, going to go in the undefeated probably. Then they'll play whoever wins. Obviously, we'll talk about it on Thursday, but whoever wins this upcoming game this weekend in Penn State.
Well, maybe not for as far as the conference championship goes. I mean, we still have Indiana, too.
Fuck, yeah. God.
Indiana's only
I hate
game release.
that we have to like look at them and being like they're gonna make the playoff whether we like it or not.
Yeah, they're almost guaranteed to go 11-1 at this point.
Yeah,
the only game that they
so it's gonna be Oregon and Indiana.
Yeah, I know there's a
barring some.
Havo 5 said $50 donation to show my feet on the stream on Twitch. Might be worth it. All right, there we go. I expect that $50 to come through, Havo.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways,
I mean, we have to.
Yeah. $50. Then we can get our water puppies flag up.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's.
What?
We actually should though put a poster up there, but we got to figure out what.
Yeah.
We don't need Sydney Sweeney's tits up there. We're a sports podcast.
Yeah. No, I know. No, ideally, actually, what we should probably do in the future is we probably should set up a semi-permanent studio in my garage so we don't have to keep sitting in this weird corner. Because I know you're very not fond of this.
It's not a bad strategy. Yeah, I can get behind that.
All right, well, a little on-air brainstorming. Anyways, 2 really good losses for Illinois. Oregon looked really good. I don't really have a whole lot else to say about it.
No, neither do I. I mean,
really good game from Oregon though.
Yeah.
I think this is more showing that Oregon is.
Yeah, I'm not going to also sit here and say, "Oh, Illinois is ass." Like, no, they're
a good team.
They've won big games on the road, and they lost to 2 really good teams.
Yeah, they stayed in the rankings this week after losing by almost 30, which I think shows what the respect that the AP
Well, there's another team that did the same thing, but they do not have our respect, and we'll get to them. Do you just want to do that now? Then
let's do it now. So Missouri gets pumped by Alabama. They lost the game. Final score 34-0, and it was not close early. I mean, Alabama had a 13-0 lead at halftime, which doesn't necessarily mean the game is over, but you could just tell from the gameplay itself that Missouri was outmatched. Brady Cook did end up playing in the game. Was very bad. Drew Pine, though, played more. Threw 3 picks. Not good. Alabama did whatever they wanted on the ground game was probably the bigger thing. Really just physically dominated Missouri from start to finish. Anything that you can look at in a stat category or with the eye test and say who won this battle, it was Alabama.
Yeah. This, again, obviously looking at the AP poll, they only dropped 4 spots after this, which is pretty mind-blowing given, it's not like they got crushed to, an undefeated Oregon team who's looked unbelievable. No, they got crushed by an Alabama team who's looked bad looked bad for the past 3 weeks. No, I was just gonna say that I feel bad for Missouri fans because have an unbelievable year last year. You have key returners like Brady Cook. and they were incredibly hyped up. What do they start preseason 6?
Something like 6 or 7,
Like
in
6
there.
or 7. Everybody's saying like, oh, they could like truly compete finally in the SEC, and it's just they look awful.
Yeah, not good. Cass said, Karter haircut guy. Cass, thanks for noticing. Did get a haircut, a little different look. So shout out to myself. I don't really have a whole lot else to say about Missouri. But my biggest gripe is, and we'll talk about it more when we get to the AP, the new AP rankings. I don't know how the hell they're still ranked. That's the biggest, my biggest takeaway from this game. Good job, Alabama, though. I guess I do want to say that too before we kind of move past it. We talked about how in the past years of Saban, coming off of a couple bad losses, things of that nature, they would came out and just won by like, whatever, 50, 60 points.
Yep.
Would have been no question. We weren't sure how they were going to react. Had the culture like already been negatively affected there. But DeBoer is a good coach. He's going to build his own thing there, and this is a really good showing to come out, bounce back like this, and get a big win. Even though we know Missouri's not good.
Yeah, no, it's huge. Obviously a team who's lost confidence would find a way to maybe make this a lot closer. No, it was from the start a pretty good ass kicking. It's what you need to bounce back.
Yeah. Cass also said one thing about Missouri fans, though, at least you have the Rams. So not true, but yeah, rub a little bit of salt in the wound there. So I wish Rams were still there though, because Los Angeles has proven to be kind of a dumpster fire in terms of fan attendance.
Yeah,
but it's a conversation for a different day. Let's get back into the matchups. A team that almost suffered a bad fate like a week in a row. Texas survives a road scare against Vandy. Texas obviously coming off that loss last week to Georgia, kind of sent the program, temporarily reeling there for a second. Right when you kind of thought that you were back and it was your year to win the title. Everybody else had faltered at points. Georgia comes in and just dominates you from start to finish. Then you turn around. Normally Vanderbilt, on the road is a great week to just go stomp a team and get things right. But Vanderbilt going to this one was ranked 25th in the country. Had been a very solid team all year long. Beaten Alabama already, and they hung right with Texas this entire game. Came out just a little bit short. Texas ends up winning the game by a field goal, 27-24. Ewers had a couple picks in the game. Was a little sloppy with the ball. Texas also fumbled. No, I don't think
no, they're not.
But Diego Pavia continues to have good games for Vanderbilt. He did throw a couple picks in this one, but he's electric. For Vanderbilt, pretty much every time he steps in the field, he's really fun to watch. Vanderbilt is a team where it's hard to keep them in the rankings the week after you lose a game. But especially when you're at 25, it's harder to not drop if you're losing. But I would have been much more happy with them just staying at 25 rather than Missouri somehow staying in the rankings.
Yeah, I also, though, I'm not going to sit here and say they're a good team.
No.
They're just the ultimate team where a ranked SEC team just do not want to play right now.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're the best, first in country or 5th or 10th. You do not want to take a trip to Vanderbilt right now.
For sure. Yeah, they're a trap game every single week for anybody that plays them. But they're still a solid team, no matter which way you look at it. And obviously, you have to be a solid team to be that trap team. But just looking back on the season for Vanderbilt, it's just crushing. Looking back, you have that loss to Georgia State.
Yeah,
because you really had a really good season. Other than that, and then even Missouri too, you had them, and now that doesn't look quite as good in terms of as a loss.
Mm-hmm.
But still on the road against an SEC opponent, who I guess is technically still ranked. Yeah, that Georgia State loss though is brutal. When you still look at the season as a whole for Vanderbilt fans, but Texas survives, advances, but they're going to get things figured out quickly here, as they still have that a lot of SEC play left. You're going to have to play somewhere. You hope you get the opportunity to play either Georgia, Alabama, maybe LSU, and the Texas A&M maybe in the SEC title games. You're going to get things figured out. You got 3 weeks in a row here. Good opportunity to figure things out. Florida, Arkansas, Kentucky, all teams who are solid opponents, but also not anything to make you sweat too much, where you can maybe again get some things figured out.
Yeah,
Texas. So, all right, let's go to the next game. Penn State. We already kind of mentioned it maybe a little bit. I put earned convincing win. I don't know maybe if that was quite the right verbiage, but we said in the preview last week that Wisconsin was a team that had been playing better as of late. It was at home, night game. Camp Randall's going to be excited. Wisconsin did lead the first quarter 3-0, but Penn State ends up scoring 14 unanswered in the fourth quarter, which is kind of more where the quote-unquote convincing part of it comes in. They proved that they could be on the road in a hostile environment and still, put points on the board and beat a team who's not a slouch by.
Yeah, I'll hold my shit talk on them this week. I've obviously, I've stated over and over again, I don't think Penn State's really, solid team. Great win from them, especially, probably a look-ahead game for next week. So nothing bad to say this week.
Yeah. So the biggest thing for Penn State here, looking forward, though, which we will talk more on Thursday when hopefully we have more information. Drew Aller injured in the game. Could be a game time call against Ohio State next week. I believe it's his knee, I think. So we'll see what happens there. Obviously, we are not very high on Drew Aller to begin with, but I would just have to assume that he's still the best quarterback in that room. So you would want him.
Yeah, no shit.
Well, yeah, I don't know. You never know.
Yeah, I guess.
Look at the Browns. We'll talk about that in the NFL.
Well, that's a lot different situation, obviously, but yes.
I'm just making a point here. All right, let's go to the next team. So Penn State, we had to hold our shit talk for a week. Let's go to a team where we finally got our shit talk confirmed. LSU finally shows up.
See ya.
Yeah, see you later. Fun while it lasted, not really. Hated it the entire time. But they finally got to face the music a little bit. Texas A&M on the road. Night game, tough place to play. They lost by 15.
I mean, Garrett Nussmeier had one of the weirder stat lines I've ever seen in a 15-point loss. 25 for 50, 405 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 picks. It's like the ultimate gunslinger. Yeah,
they apparently had the ultimate inability to run the ball. Had 35 total yards. I mean, well, you can say 38, I guess. Nussmeier had like 3 sacks, but couldn't run the ball at all against Texas A&M. Also, hats off to Texas A&M. They ran the shit out of the ball. They had 3 rushers at 60 more yards for a total of 245. Again, that's counting some sacks against how do you say his name? Wegman, right? Wegman?
Yeah.
Wegman. So again, that's a little bit deflated as well. But yeah, I'm very, very excited to see that we can finally stop here about LSU because people somehow forgot that this is the team that lost to USC week 1 by consistently shooting themselves in the foot. And it's like, oh, it was USC. It's like, do we all forget that USC is not good anymore?
Yeah, now USC is awful. And then, you can obviously flip it, too. So, LSU had that 1 loss, right? A&M only had 1 loss, and it was to that Notre Dame team who obviously looked really embarrassing with the NIU loss, but, ever since have been playing lights-out football.
Yeah.
And now we'll talk about, obviously, but I think they're 6th or 7th in the country now.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame's 8, Texas A&M's 10.
Okay.
So, yeah, no, they both. I mean, they both have really played lights out since then. A&M's. I mean, they had a close call a little bit. I mean, Bowling Green, I guess they won 26-20, and Arkansas they won 21-17. Arkansas is a solid team.
Bowling Green was playing everybody tough in the beginning of the year too. I've not done any. I haven't looked at all of what they've done since, but probably just kind of not help our point.
Oh, yeah, it'd be really disappointing. Yeah. If you'll ever let me load it. Yeah, they're 4-4, second in the MAC. Played Penn State close, played Texas A&M close, lost to Old Dominion by 3, beat Akron, lost to Northern Illinois actually by 10. They beat Kent State and they beat Toledo. So
again, that's not an awful resume. It's certainly not great, but
no.
I mean, 2 really quality losses.
Yeah,
they played Penn State.
You played 2 whatever.
A&M really close.
You played 2 whatever other MAC teams there. You could be looking at 6-2 football team.
Yeah.
So, anyways, back to the original point though. A&M's looked good. Notre Dame's looked good. LSU now, they never did look really necessarily super good the entire time. That's why you and I kept hammering home that point.
Well, it's also it's the ultimate eye test of obviously the opening week. I forgot, was that a Sunday game? When
USC and LSU?
Yes.
Yeah, it was the standalone Monday.
The standalone Monday game. And obviously we're sitting there watching it. It had to have been a Sunday. Now I'm thinking about it because we had a fantasy football draft while we were watching. I don't think we would have drafted on Monday.
Why did it feel like a Monday? I don't know. Whatever. Go.
I know. We were sitting there watching it, and obviously 2 teams that were pretty highly ranked preseason wise, but it's based on just all newcomers coming in and playing well. And we were like, none of these teams look very solid. And we were right. Garrett Nussmeier is not awful. Miller Massa isn't awful, but it's just not solid teams around them.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem. Also, Garrett Nussmeier is pretty bad. I think I don't really know why people.
Yeah, I'm saying he's not awful though.
Yeah. Okay. All right, whatever. Never mind. Not DJU. Basically.
Yes. Yeah. DJU is awful and should fire up the LinkedIn. Garrett Nussmeier's not that bad.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to the other games here going forward. Let's see, we're in Missouri. Oh, yes, all we have left is our two games. Other than maybe just kind of a quick look at the scoreboard recap from the week. But we could do Nebraska first. So played Ohio State, nearly pulled off the upset, close but no cigar. Final score 21-17. Another week where had good drives all game long, just could never really find a way to punch it into the end zone. Raiola, I thought, played pretty well for most of the game. We kind of took what the defense gave him for the most part. Obviously, though, the game-ending interception, I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know what the play was,
but I said it right when it happened. I'm going to say it again. No, it had to have been a miscommunication because it almost looked like he was throwing that ball as if he was going to run like a comeback. So not sure what happened, which is obviously an error you can't have if you're trying to pull off an upset against the number 4 team in the country on the road. But at the end of the day, there's no moral victories, whatever. But we will look at it. I think after last week, we can take a moral victory here. It was great to see Nebraska come out and play like a football team again.
Yeah, 100%.
It would have been so easy for them to just roll over.
Is that the biggest win, or is the biggest win of the week special teams?
Huh?
Is that the biggest win, or is the biggest win of the week for Nebraska special teams?
I mean both.
Yeah.
Special teams. You alluded to, for anybody who doesn't know, Nebraska has not been able to kick a field goal for what seems to be the entire season until this Ohio State game where John Holt decided that he was, the next Justin Tucker, I guess, went 3 for 3 on a 54, kept Nebraska in the game until the
100%.
fourth quarter. So that was, very good to see. As for Ohio State, I'd like to just only say that this was, Nebraska played a good team well. A really good. Nebraska played good against a really good team.
No, I'm gonna
not as good as
now. Can I go on a flip here? Because again, I don't want to say what I'm going to say because it, maybe takes a little credit away from Nebraska, which I still think is very impressive. This is maybe a final score where I can understand late in the year at Lincoln, where it's a little trap game, Nebraska hostile environment to play in. You just can't have this type of shit after a loss at home. I want to say after a bye too, right?
Yeah, they lost to Oregon, had a bye, because that's what we said in the preview. We're like, yeah, we'd love to see Nebraska come and bounce back this week, but it felt like it was destined for an Ohio State all-time ass kicking.
Yeah, and we not get that in the slightest. Will Howard played fine. They have arguably the 2 best running backs in the country on that team, and they could not run the football.
Yeah, yes. Shout out to Nebraska's defense. I mean, we didn't even mention that, but I mean,
is that a bigger?
That was the biggest thing for me. I think really, I completely forgot about it. The way the defense bounced back.
Okay, but is that indicative of that defense, or because they couldn't run against Oregon either? There's something really wrong right now. I don't know if it's schematically, but I don't think it is because Chip Kelly's a very good defensive coordinator who's been able to run the ball. Or is it just that O-line awful? I don't think it's running back's fault. Again, they're incredibly talented.
Yeah, no, I think it's a little bit of both. I think Nebraska does have a really good defense, and it just, I don't know, had a really, really bad week last week that hopefully we just don't see again. But yes, at the same time, I don't know what's wrong with Ohio State, but it's not what they're supposed to do. You said. They're just not executing.
From this exact point, I'm I just don't think that team has what it takes to win a national championship.
Yeah, no, this is definitely the biggest week that I will say that it doesn't look like they have it. Same time though, and we just talked about Oregon earlier, knocked them up a bunch, and Ohio State had them on the ropes, and took a not game-winning drive, but pretty much a game-winning drive by Oregon to win the game.
Yeah, sure.
So there's still that. We get a little bit too far here with the recency bias, but I don't know. College football this year is just weird. I don't know who the hell is going to win the title. I would not feel comfortable betting a single team in the nation right now. I think that Georgia is the pick.
Gun to the head. You're still taking Georgia.
I would take Georgia gun to the head. I think I'd take Georgia over Oregon for the national title, gun to the head. But again, I just don't like anybody right now. No one really moves the needle for me. John Ricker hopped the comments on X, said little Mahomie tossed it to goddamn Cash for the Ghost. Yeah, it did not look good. But again, I think there was a miscommunication there. I don't know what the hell happened, but that's not the only explanation I have because I don't know why else do we throw it there? There's really just no reason other than thought it was a different route. And Kobe said, "Imagine that Nebraska talk is back." We go to school here, so like we're gonna probably talk about the poll. So you can relax on that one a little bit. There, take that back. You're supposed to come down here for a Nebraska game soon, so better enjoy the Nebraska talk. You got to be up on your lingo for when you see the other fans out and about and can talk ball. Anyways, let's get to Michigan. We'll move on to the New Day people, and then we'll wrap up the college football. I don't know if it's the title, but I had a Lil Bro Shade do Lil Bro things. So
I did see that. Yeah.
I'll let you go
Words
ahead.
from
Little rivalry game here.
I mean, I'm not going to talk much about it. It's not like Michigan's all of a sudden back and good.
Are they?
No,
I don't know. Maybe.
I will though say Davis Warren really impressed me. It was nice to see like a quarterback again, like being able to complete 4 passes.
Yep.
Side note too,
Also,
Jack Tuttle retiring.
Maybe throw Donovan Edwards at quarterback now.
Yeah, that's all he does.
Yeah.
No, it was again about time though, where it felt like there's not a lot of coaching mistakes. Davis Warren played smart football. No turnovers, I believe. I don't fully remember. No,
Unless I don't think. Really.
So yeah, I mean, it was not a unbelievable win, but you got the job done. And again, in a rivalry, that's all I care about.
Yeah. And obviously, everybody's talking about the little scuffle that broke up at the end. That's what spurred the quote.
Yes,
those Will Bros, they do Will Bro things.
And he has the right to do it. His numbers against Michigan State in his career are gaudy.
Yeah.
2.5 touchdowns.
Also, like, I get he has to do it as the head coach, but at the same time, it was like, it almost seemed, Sharon seemed like almost too mad about it in the post game when they interviewed him. It's like, I feel like that's probably like one of the 2 teams that you like a little self scuffle break out and you probably like, yeah, we don't want to see it, but like our guys are going to stand up for like what they think's right or whatever. Like,
you probably didn't, but I've been on like Michigan State Twitter and like their radio shows. I didn't see this, but supposedly because it came from after the game. But Jonathan Smith, I guess after the game was like, yeah, I finally get what like you guys talking about like between the rivalry. And I guess like in the pregame, they're like, so how's it like? He's like, yeah, no, I've been in a few. It's fine. Like this is the game where like the punt thing happened, right?
That's crazy. I did not know that.
So after the game, he's like, okay, yeah, it is a rivalry. I should have been a little bit more prepared for it.
That's crazy.
I don't know if you actually quote unquote said that, but Michigan State fans were fucking pissed off.
Oh yeah, no shit. Makes sense. I don't know how you could ever not think that that's a rivalry. Like
he literally was like, yeah, I've been a part of some rivalries like that, and everybody Michigan State was like, it's bigger than like your typical just Oregon State rivalry, man.
Yeah. No, I mean,
somebody made that like, wait, dude, that's where we play for like that, axe guy, right?
Yeah. No, that's bad. I did not see that. Okay, like I said before we move on from college football, let's take a look now at the New Day people. So as you can see on the screen here, 25-16, 25 is Missouri, 24 Illinois, 23 Colorado, 22 Washington State, 21 Army, 20 is SMU, 19 is Ole Miss, 18 is Pittsburgh, 17 is Kansas State, 16 is LSU. So biggest thing kind of I'm taking away from it off rip, mentioned earlier, Missouri should not be ranked anymore.
No, I mean, there's no reason for them to be. Yeah. You can't just drop 4 spots after an ass kicking like that.
Absolutely. Should be out of the rankings. Illinois, like we said earlier too, I think it's fair that they're still in the rankings, right at the very tail end there. That's fine with me. Colorado makes an appearance in the rankings at 23.
They've been playing good ball.
Like they're playing good ball, but it's like it's so crazy, especially for how many Nebraska fans like kind of freaked out this year. It's like, let's not forget we manhandled this team like early on the season.
Full on ass kicking.
Yeah, full on ass kicking. So that looks like a really good win. Like Illinois played well. Like I don't know. I'm trying to move fast, but like I still don't understand the freak out that we had last week with Nebraska. Hopefully, people will relax a little bit now after that Ohio State game. Anyways, back to the rankings. Washington State at 22. Did not realize that they were having kind of a good year. Did you know that? Like I looked at the rankings.
No, I did not.
Like, oh, Washington State's ranked. Like
actually, I do feel like I've watched them play a little bit where it's like it looked okay. I did not know that they were 22 in the nation. Good, but good for them.
Yep. Army stays ranked 21. We forgot to mention kind of the grand scheme of things.
Notre Dame, Navy.
Yeah, Navy. The run was fun, but had a hell of an ass kicking from Notre Dame. I think it was 51 to 14. Final score,
maybe 17.
Why is it 51-14? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, hell of an ass kicking, and then also I guess I was going to run through some of these other scores. BYU, who was underdogs on the road against 3 and 4, UCF did win by 13. So once again, the public was smarter than Vegas for God knows why. Weird. Indiana won against Washington 31-17 without Chris Rourke. Good win from them. Kansas actually pushed Kansas State a lot more than probably expected. KC ended up winning 29-27. Ole Miss beat Oklahoma 26-14, and then SMU survived in overtime against Duke 20-27. Okay, sorry. Wanted to run through that really fast though. Back to the rankings though. That is why SMU still kind of stays put. Duke's maybe a little bit.
No, it's a frisky team, but yeah, I'm not going to put them in the good category.
Again, Ole Miss doesn't really move much. I don't think the 12-point or whatever 14-point win over Oklahoma moves people too much. Pitt at 18. I thought maybe they'd move up a little bit more. I thought that was an impressive win on Friday night.
I mean, yeah, the way they made Kyle McCord look, yeah, I could understand why most people would think
that was Thursday, wasn't it? We were talking about that game on Thursday. So right as we went live, we were like, oh yeah, Kyle McCord threw 5 interceptions, 3 of them were pick sixes.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying that's their last game before the rankings.
Yes, yeah. No, I was correcting myself because I said Friday. Kansas State at 17. Again, you're not gonna really
drop with wins at this point of the year.
Yeah, well, actually, they did drop one, I guess, but
all right, Dick.
Well, sorry, I'm just trying to be transparent for the views. But I think it's warranted to drop a spot.
Yeah,
when you damn near lose to a Kansas team who's now 2-6 on the year, and then LSU drops 8 spots down to 16. Thank God. I hope they lose again. Fall out of the rankings. It's not something that I have a personal agenda against them. It's just I just want to this is the one take, or this one of the takes that I feel like the LSU USC thing, week 0, we said right away, everybody in the country thinks that these two teams are good, and we were way ahead of the curve on it. So it's I want to be fully validated for that.
Yeah, no, it's elite ball knowledge.
By far our best take of the year, I think.
Yep.
Overall. So LSU, if you continue to fall.
To be fair, though, it is a pretty easy year to be because everybody's lost games.
Yeah,
so it
is
true. It's a great year to be a preseason hater.
At the same time, though, I mean, it's not even preseason. Though. It's LSU. I mean, they had them in the country, and I saw people saying LSU in the playoffs is a foregone conclusion. And I was I stayed firm to the point. No, that's not going to happen. It's even the same for USC. They got up to what was the top 10 at one point?
Yeah.
After a few wins, and we stayed saying no, they're not good. We said they're going to lose to Michigan, who everyone said sucked. Now they do kind of suck, but USC also sucks. So all right, there's the USC LSU rant. Standing on business. All right, 6-15. Boise State's at 15. They move up 2 spots, I believe that was.
Yeah.
After their defeat with UNLV, Alabama's at 14, Indiana 13, Clemson 11, Iowa State also 11. It's not a typo; they're actually tied in the rankings. Texas A&M is 10, BYU is 9, Notre Dame is 8, Tennessee is 7, 6 is Texas. So what is that jump for Alabama?
3. No.
Oh, just 1. Okay.
Oh.
They were 15 last.
I could have sworn. No, yeah, no. Boise 17
lower, I guess. I don't know why. Nothing here really jumps out at me too much, I wouldn't say. All these teams won last week, so maybe you could have made an argument that Texas A&M.
I think Indiana's getting a little disrespected too here.
Yeah,
they're the only undefeated team on this,
True.
portion of the list. So I'd like to, see some respect. As much as I hate it, I'd like to see them in the top 10.
Yeah, no, that's a good fair point.
I don't care if the 14-point win wasn't impressive. It was though. They beat an okay Washington team with the backup quarterback.
Yeah, and their starting quarterback really could make a very strong argument that he deserves a little bit of Heisman talk. It's been lights out.
Yeah, he has been. Yeah, he won't get an invite.
No, it's just too good at the top. But yeah, no, they've been very good all year long. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, they still have to play Ohio State. That'll give them the respect they deserve if they are able to win that game. But we just have to remember their best win is that 50-point win against Nebraska, which, man, who you ask, I don't know how good the national media considers that to be. So,
true. Yep.
I think now, especially after this weekend, we can look back and say that was playing more of Nebraska just had a weird fluke awful game than it was maybe Indiana was that much better than them. So, but yeah, I still think that you're right. They could be in the top 10 just based on being undefeated alone. Top 5. Stayed intact. for the most part, other than Miami. Miami literally just flipped spots this week, so that was the only change in the top 6. Miami goes up to 5, though, now. Ohio State stayed at 4 after surviving that game against Nebraska. Penn State stayed at 3 after coming back and beating Wisconsin. Georgia stays at 2, and Oregon stays at 1. No real complaints. Top 5 for me.
No,
it makes
I was
sense.
I was bitching about the Penn State Ohio State thing, but after the way Ohio State's now looked back in their last 2 weeks, I think I'm okay with Penn State being at them.
Yeah, especially like now it's like next week. No matter who wins the game, it's like I still don't really know how much I'm gonna think of that team.
Yeah, especially if it's like a sloppy game.
Yeah,
I
don't know if either of these teams are really that good. So
I think if Ohio State goes into Happy Valley and beats the shit out of them, I'll say okay, Ohio State's back and they figured what's out. But I don't think they can. If I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. More preview stuff coming on Thursday, so stay tuned for that. And that'll probably do it though for college football. So that being said, we're gonna go to a quick 1 minute little commercial break here. When we come back, we will get into our NFL Week 8 recap. After that, we will maybe touch on some World Series stuff a little bit. It's right now. It's 4-0. Dodgers leading the Yankees. It's bottom of the 7th. For those who don't know, the Dodgers already have a 2-game lead, 2-0. So looking like they're heading towards a 3-0 lead here. And as most people know, a 3-0 lead in sports basically means that the series is over. So we'll talk about that a little bit. And I don't know. Do we have a record takes today?
No, I mean, I have no idea.
All right, we'll leave a brainstorm one as the show goes on. If you want to drop some rock takes in the comments, feel free. Maybe try that out. Otherwise, I don't know. If we can't come up with one, we just have to skip it for today. Hopefully come up with a good one on Thursday, but we'll see. It's still further on in the episode. So moving forward from now, we'll be right back. You're listening to Rock Hard Ball for the Dogs Media Network on Cultural Dogs. We'll be right back.
On the College Football Dogs website, you'll find a main page that features some of our biggest and newest stories. Our conference pages for content related to your favorite team's conference. Our team store, where we have products that are available all year long, as well as gear available for a limited time only. Our podcast page, where you can see when one of the 12-plus College Football Dogs podcasts is streaming live on social media. Our subscription page, where you can join our Discord. If you're interested in becoming a contributor at College Football Dogs, email us at info@collegefootballdogs.com. If you enjoy any College Football Dogs content, we really do appreciate any donations you can make by visiting the donate page on our website or scanning the QR code here.
College Football Dogs, for the fans.
All right, welcome back to Rock Our Ball, part of the Dogs Media Network at Cultural Dogs. Check out the website, culturaldogs.com. Lots of great articles and stuff going up there each and every day, so make sure you check that thing out. We got full-time beat reporter, Chris Joseph, does a lot of good stuff. He's got a podcast as well. If you want to go check that out, Sports Bites does a good job. He's actually just a little bit before us on Monday, so if you're looking for something to do before Rock Hard Ballers, go check that out. Then we got just guys covering pretty much every team in the Power Four. So again, if you're ever missing out on some reading, get some time to do, check out collegefootballdogs.com. Lots of good stuff. Good writers who maybe just haven't heard of yet, so go check it out. Kobe was in the comments. I missed this one a while ago. I should mention it because I am wearing the sweatshirt. Kobe mentioned NDSU almost beat Colorado too. It's true. They took them right down the wire at Folsom Field. That's their field, right? Folsom Field.
No idea.
I think it's something completely different. Nathan, you know, Colorado's Folsom Field, isn't it? Am I just making something up? Something's Folsom Field. Okay. Anyways, in Boulder. And then also shout out NDSU. Just beat SDSU a couple weeks ago. I think I said that already, but I'm gonna say it again because big matchup in the FCS, 1 versus 2. NDSU won. I was in attendance. Good luck charm. Anyways, Kobe also said Kelly Kiki rings tonight. Kobe might have missed the very first couple minutes of the episode. Clyde is not here tonight. He had another 1 episode suspension that he had to serve, so he's not here. But hopefully he should be. Well, not hopefully. He almost guaranteedly should be back Thursday night. We're gonna make sacrifice for you guys. We're all college guys. For those who don't remember, Thursday's Halloween, but we're committed to ball. So,
Are we still doing it at 9?
maybe we can maybe move it up like an hour. I don't know. We'll see. What do we think? I mean, we can.
What time do you work?
I work till 7, so I mean, I could make it.
Okay. Oh no, it's tough to also move it up because of football, but
yeah. So yeah, stay tuned to the Twitter is the most.
What are you going to be as for Halloween?
I don't know. I might run back to your costume. If I can find it. I don't know. I really don't want to buy another new costume.
Yeah, I feel that.
I don't know. Maybe we could be
and
yeah. Okay. Pickens. Yeah. Okay. We could maybe be Big AJ and Big Justice. You could be Big Justice. Shorter.
All right, let's fucking move on.
Big AJ, bring the boom. Anyways, Kobe's very disappointed. Kelly's not here. Yes, he is taking the Bears lot. Rough. That was a bad loss. Kobe said in costume for the episode. Could do that.
I was actually thinking we should.
We should rep costume for the episode. Good idea, Kobe. We will do that on Thursday.
Any costume recommendations too? Drop them. I've been thinking of some.
Kobe's on the costume idea. He said I could be the Rizzler. That would be really funny if we just.
I mean, yeah, but
I don't really know how you do that though, because they literally just wear. I mean, they just dress like normal people.
I think you just have to go around doing the boom 24/7.
Yeah, you just have to constantly doing the boom dance.
Have like a fucking chicken bake and a double chunk chocolate chip in your hands, just doing that. Then everybody will get it.
Yep. Yeah. No, maybe we can look into it. We'll see. All right. Speaking of, he talked about the Bears loss. We'll get to NFL now. Run through the Week 8 recap. So we're just gonna go top to bottom. I guess first things first. We can mention kind of what's going on with Monday Night Football. Steelers are in the red zone, second and goal. They're up by 8 right now over the Giants with 8:38 to go in the fourth quarter. They score here. Have to imagine it's gonna be tough for the Giants to get back in the game or score a touchdown. Anyways, I mean, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, let's get back though to the actual just normal Sunday NFL slate. Let's. You want to leave our teams for last or start off?
Probably last, right?
Yeah. All right. So we got Eagles Bengals. We talked about it on Thursday. Felt like weirdly it was a must-win for both teams. The Eagles were 4-2 coming into it. They just hadn't looked very good. Really good game from them though. They didn't score in the first quarter. They down 7-0. Then they just exploded from that point on. They outscored them 37-10 the rest of the game. Jalen Hurts had a good game, 16 for 20, 236 yards, touchdown. He also scored 3 times. I think they were all on the tush push, weren't they? Yeah. Saquon had a good game running the ball. Devontae, AJ Brown, both good games. That's the Bengals. I mean, we said it before. I'll say it again now. Joe Burrow wasn't perfect on Sunday, so if he's not perfect, there's a very good chance the Bengals lose by 20.
I mean, yeah, that defense is just not good. It's just what it is. Yep. And I think they sell.
Can't run the ball.
Yeah, I also think they sell here coming up.
They sell.
Yeah,
fire sell. Pretty.
Not fire sale, but like
T. Higgins goes.
I think T. Higgins goes. I think Trey Hendrickson goes. Look, I mean, because you can get
other than that, I don't really know if they have other pieces that are worth the trade value.
No, but yeah, you can get for your defense is already awful. Obviously, Trey Hendrickson's a great player, but like losing him, I think is better in the long run if you can get a nice haul for him, which I think you can get a third or fourth for him, shall I say?
Yeah, there's plenty of teams too just looking for line help.
Lions,
we
love them.
Packers. Probably
Bears they want an edge rusher supposedly.
Yeah, basically the entire NFC North. So, next game though, including teams in the AFC North, Bengals, Browns, Ravens. I mean, sat here and said that was an assumed ass kicking, and boy, was that wrong.
That's the Jameis Winston effect, baby.
Jameis Winston, our great and glorious king, 27-41, 334 yards, 3 touchdowns. Great to see James out there balling. Makes this team so much more fun. We talked about the Deshaun thing last week. We don't got to bring it up again. Like, whatever. Set our piece on it. He's gone. Don't got to worry about the bad man anymore. But James was just so fun. I mean, his pregame and postgame interviews were just comedy. They were great. I don't know if you saw them.
Though I saw the one where they were asking him like when like you feel like at best or whatever. He's like, just when I'm making good decisions. And it's like that is Jameis Winston though. It's like he is awesome when he's making good decisions. It's the problem is he doesn't a lot.
Yeah, most of the time he has a little bit of an issue with that. I mean, the craziest thing about this game too is that like the Ravens played well. The Browns just played better. Like, this wasn't just like some game where the Ravens just played really sloppy and like Lamar turned the ball over a lot and stuff like that. No, like Lamar had almost 300 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry didn't have his best day on the ground. I mean, he's been on a historic pace this year, but I mean, still had 11 carries for 73 yards. It's over 6.5 yards a carry and a touchdown. The Browns, again, at the end of the day, they just outplayed them.
Yep.
So impressive to see. We'll see. Maybe, I mean, I have to imagine it's too late to make a playoff push at this point. They already have 6 losses on the year. But the Browns might be able to push themselves to a respectable record here. Again, will we get this polished version of Jameis every single week?
No.
Maybe not.
No, we will.
Next week he might throw for 500 yards and 4 picks, but you know what? It's going to be fun while he does it.
Yep.
And again, I think his post-game interview was probably my favorite. He basically like said a prayer like in his post-game interview. He was like had like his eyes closed and like thanking God, which is like that's fine. Like, props to him. But it was just like kind of a funny way to do it. Really, it's like in his post-game interview. Oh, this is interesting. I don't know. It was different, but that's Jameis.
Yeah,
and that's why we love him.
Yep.
So, Cardinals and Dolphins. Dolphins looked like they were going to maybe run away with the game for a second. I think they were up 20-7 at one point.
Yeah.
And then Cardinals end up winning the game 28-27. Tua looked good for the most part.
I mean, this team's going to win a lot more games, obviously, with Tua. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, how many losses do they have now? 5, 6? No,
5.
5.
Yeah.
So they're not fully out of it. If they stay healthy, like we saw last year, they could beat up on teams pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think what most people agree is kind of the magic number for at least having a realistic shot to the playoffs is usually 10 wins. It might be less though in the AFC.
I think
the
it's going to be 9.
AFC, you probably end with 9. Again, you still have a very weak division. You still play Patriots once, Jets. They get Jets twice, who appears to be a dumpster fire. They have the Raiders on the schedule. They have the Browns, who who knows what's going to happen with them on a week-to-week basis. So yeah, the Dolphins still in play, I think, for the playoffs. But this is one that you would have loved to pull out because I don't know why, but right around like the 7 or 8 game mark, like that 3 and 4 versus the 2 and 5 does feel way different.
Yeah,
in terms of like just your season outlook and like having a chance to again make the playoffs. It feels a lot more realistic if you have if you're one game below 500.
Yeah, 100%.
Halfway through the season. Also, shout out to the Cardinals. We've said it, I guess, it feels like every week. They're a frisky team. They're fun. Their games are always going to be like entertaining to watch. They're going to put points. Kyler Murray's fun. And they're, I think, going to hang around a little bit in the NFC playoff picture. Obviously, the NFC is more competitive than the AFC, so there's less room for error. But, I mean, if Kyler Murray can play at a high level every week, I mean, the Cardinals are going to have a chance to win every game.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly, I think, what we had pretty much for their season-long outtake. Last in the offseason.
All right, let's talk about the dumpster fire now. Ken already mentioned it. That is the Jets. They fall at 2-6 now, and probably even the bigger issue of falling at 2-6 is how they fell at 2-6. They lost to the Patriots, 25-22, and it wasn't like Drake May just had like an awesome game. Nope, he got hurt, had to leave the game. I think he's okay, right?
I think they said he was fine. Yeah.
So he did have a nice touchdown run though before he went out, but. Ramondre Stevenson rushed for a couple touchdowns. Jacoby Brissett came in, played good enough for the Patriots. But I mean, if you can't win this game,
it's if you lose to the Patriots, I call it the death of your season.
Mm-hmm.
We saw week 1 with the Bengals, and everybody's kind of they're used to the slow starts. I think the Bengals now are in an awful situation. They look like they could sell, like you said, and right here, Jets drop one of the Patriots. That'll probably be it for their season.
Yeah, I don't. It's like you made the trade for Devontae Adams. It's like I would hate to be a Jets fan right now. That's about all I can say. I don't even know. Like I was gonna try and like think of like any type of scenario that you're looking for. Like I don't know what you're rooting for at this point in the season.
No,
I don't think you want to win games, right? Yeah, at this point you probably want to lose. You have 6 losses. I don't.
Yeah,
you can afford
maybe
one more, maybe 2 losses.
Yeah.
And that's
how many years are left on Rodgers' contract?
I think maybe 1 after this.
Okay. Yeah, I think you kind of almost just have to scrap it. Hope he stays healthy and maybe just go full all in next year.
Listen, it's like
also Rodgers not very good anymore. I hope people realize that.
Yeah, I don't know. They have on the road with the Cardinals next week. No, they have the Texans at home next week. Yeah, that's a loss.
So now you're
on the road with the Cardinals. We just said it's a pretty solid team.
Tough.
They have 4 games in a row that could be winnable. Colts, Seahawks, Dolphins, Jaguars. They finish up with Rams, Bills, and Dolphins. I don't see a scenario where they only lose 1 or 2 games
Yeah.
in the rest of the schedule. So yeah, I think the Jets are cooked. We'll see though what happens. I don't know if they'll try and trade some pieces at the deadline. Like if you just immediately flip Devontae again, like
No.
no, but like it's kind of just a funny scenario to think about. I saw that tweet I think that said like Aaron Rodgers could just completely fulfill the Brett Favre career progression. Go the Jets to dumpster fire. Vikings, now starting to slide a little bit. Maybe Sam Darnold starts playing bad. It's like, oh, you guys want Aaron Rodgers the rest of the season? Never know. Let's see what happens. But yeah, bad spot for the Jets. And I guess hats off to the Patriots for winning the game. Probably didn't.
No, you definitely not want to win this game.
I guess whatever. At least it's against the big rival.
Yeah.
Don't like whatever.
It's always fun to beat Aaron Rodgers. Trust me.
Okay. Falcons Buccaneers for control of the NFC South. Falcons won 31-26. Kirk had another really good game, 276, 4 touchdowns. I feel like we kind of all wrote the Falcons off after the first couple weeks. Like now they've kind of quietly just gotten to like a 5-3 record and have played really well the last 2 weeks. So good things are happening down in Atlanta. Buccaneers.
They played, like for how banged up they are, though. I thought they played well.
They did, but
right?
that's the thing. It's like, what's really your ceiling at this point?
Yeah, no, it's definitely tough because they said what Evans is out till week 11 when it's done for the year.
Yep.
Yeah, they're in a tough spot
for sure. I do like watching oh my gosh, excuse me. I do like watching Baker play. Hope he continues to play well. I think that he's like been a big time. Nobody really liked him now. Like everybody like roots for him. But he is fun to watch. The offense really is just fun to watch in general.
Yep.
They do just sling it around. Bucky
Irving's awesome.
Also, Kate Otten has like emerged as one of the better tight ends in the NFL all of a sudden. So there's still some positives for the Buccaneers. Their season's definitely not over by any means. They could still, I think, get into the playoffs. But it's just going to be so much harder now at this point. So next few weeks are going to be big. Just getting some wins without Mike Evans. I don't know who they have. On the road to the Chiefs and then Niners at home where they play the Giants, Panthers, Raiders. So pretty good chance they go into that.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. Niners have obviously been a little up and down at times too. All right. Moving forward here, we got Texans and Colts. I thought the Texans would have a little bit easier time with this, but Colts did kind of jump out on them early, scored 10 in the first quarter. But after that point, Texans took it a little bit, scored 14 in the second quarter to take the lead in halftime by a touchdown. And then we're eventually able to just get the job done, winning 23-20. Stroud played fine, I thought. Anthony Richardson, though, is probably the story of this game.
Yeah, we got to talk about him.
And for 32, 175 yards, touchdown, and a pick. Also fumbled it twice. Got one of them back, but lost one. When do you blow up that experiment?
I think soon. Like you simply, what are they 4-4?
Yes.
You cannot keep walking this guy out. You cannot throw the football.
The crazy thing is,
you cannot go into half 2 for 15.
The craziest thing about the Colts is that this team is good enough with Flacco and Turner that they can win games and probably make the playoffs.
Yes.
Well, with Anthony Richardson at quarterback, like you're almost just guaranteed to lose games.
I don't. It's probably too early to like fully give up on him, but at the same time, you can't trot him out when every single time he goes down, Flacco comes in and this offense looks way more competent.
Yeah, no, it's a very wild situation that they have there in Indianapolis. Because it's like, yeah, you don't want to give up on them. It's like, do we put Flacco in, try to win games like the playoffs? Just let Anthony Richardson ride it out and like draft a quarterback in the next draft, assuming that he doesn't win many games. At the same time, it's like once in a while he's probably not really good, and then it's like,
to be fair though, it's like drafting him was already a total wild card.
Yeah,
he's played. I think they said he's now played like 20 something games since high school.
Yeah,
like he had 17 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. It's like only season at Florida.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you just ride it out. Maybe the rest of the season, see if he somehow eventually figures it out. But it's like, I mean, I feel like we talked about it one other time, maybe on the show. I mean, I know I've had conversations with people about it, like outside of whatever, on camera and on the mic. But it's like every single year when you have a quarterback like Anthony Richardson, I can't think of another example immediately off the top of my head. But it's like, oh, Josh Allen, he had that year and he came back. It's like I think we almost now think that Josh Allen was worse than he really was. Like,
I mean, the only thing he was really, he's had a bad low completion. Like his completion percentage was 55.
Yeah.
It was like he's not 2 for 15 at
Anthony
halftime.
Richardson completed 30% of passes this game.
Yeah.
What's his? Can't do that.
Can you just quickly like search up what his completion percentage is on the year?
Yeah.
It's got to be under like arguably under 45.
Uh, 44.4.
Yeah, that's 10 points off of Josh Allen's worst year.
44.4 with a 4-7 touchdown and interception ratio. Flacco has a 65.7% completion rate, 7 touchdowns to 1 pick.
I mean, what are we doing? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But I also get it. Like you drafted them, you want to see what you have.
I don't know. Again, it's going to come down to is they decide, do we want to try and win games, make some type of playoff run? You're just kind of on hell right now.
Yep.
So, all right. Chargers beat the Saints 26-8. I don't really have a whole lot to say on this game.
Yeah, I
It's
didn't
really bad now.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
Good win for the Chargers though. They're in a spot. They're in a good position now to kind of control their own destiny towards a wild card spot in the AFC. Also, I will say that one play. I don't know if you saw it with this. I don't remember what his name is. The one lineman that looked like he was just trying to rip.
Oh yeah, that was
fucked up.
that was really fucked up.
But other than that, I don't really have anything to say about this game. Bills Seahawks 31-10. Kind of same thing. I mean, I thought this would be a better game, but at the same time, I don't know why I thought it was going to be a better game. I also thought before this that the Seahawks weren't that good, but I don't know. They're good for the Bills, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, they proved me wrong. I thought they would be in for a little bit of a doozy of a season, but obviously not. They look really good.
Yeah. Maybe like after next week, go back, like revisit our season predictions.
I don't want
see how we're doing.
I think I have the Jets in the playoffs. I think I have the Browns in the playoffs.
I mean, I think I had similar like outlooks.
The only thing I think I hit on pretty well was I also said that I don't think San Fran's gonna just like roll through everybody this year.
Yeah,
which injuries helped me with that take.
Yeah, I kind of had that, but I also did make a very clear distinction when I said that. I was like, if they stay healthy, so I don't think that can really be held against me completely.
Okay.
We both had good takes on the Cardinals, though. I know.
Yep.
I don't know. I had a good take on the Bills. I said that they wouldn't fall off a cliff like everybody thought they were going to.
Yeah, I don't think I said they would fall off a cliff.
No, but like I mean,
I thought they'd win like maybe 9 or 10 games.
No, you had mentioned like you thought there was like a realistic shot they missed the playoffs, and I think that would be quite an option. But
well, to be fair though, I also thought like every single year we go into this with all the quarterbacks in the NFC and think it's like a significantly better and tougher than the NFC, and it's vice versa this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like the AFC looks pretty easy. I mean, you just look at the NFC North, obviously.
Yeah, no, that's a good point too. Let's get actually to the next game, which I think you had a similar take. Broncos now 5-3, 28-14 win over the Panthers. Obviously, this win alone isn't super impressive, but they are 5-3 now. They're winning games. Bo Nix looks good, and that is basically what I believe both of us said at the beginning of the year was if Bo Nix can play like as like an average like NFL quarterback to above average, like this Broncos team is going to be pretty solid.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that I did say I didn't think he would, and they'd be awful. So,
yeah. I mean, it looked rough at times early in the year. You had definitely some growing pains once the regular season started. But I mean, I think it's Big Cat that says it probably best. It's like this isn't Oregon Bo Nix, this is Auburn Bo Nix. It's like 1 week he's going to be arguably the best quarterback in the NFL. Next week, why is he in the NFL? So,
yep.
Very up and down. I feel like he's almost like he's kind of like volatility, like a little bit of like Anthony Richardson stuff. Like he knows how to complete passes.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's actually a pretty good comparison. Yeah.
Yeah. He can be very fun at times. Also, can do some really boneheaded shit, but he'll do it with like a 60% completion rate instead of 30.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, he'll like have like a 90% completion rating. You'll be like 14 for like 16. And like 23 yards.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, but we gotta move it down the field a little bit,
Yeah, and then he'll have a game where he'll take a big shots, making crazy plays, and then it's like, Bo, that was a great deep shot. That was still the wrong team. So, but no, I mean he is fun for the most part. Broncos. I mean I have to assume like as for a Broncos fan, like you're at least having fun watching football again.
Yes.
Like you have hope each week. And your quarterback's at least entertaining to watch at the very least. Chiefs won again, 27-20 over the Raiders. They're now 7-0. How many picks did Mahomes throw this week? 1? Pretty good.
Yeah.
below season average.
Improvements.
So Kareem Hunt has continued to play fairly well in backup duty, or not backup duty, fill-in duty, I guess is probably the better word for Isaiah Pacheco. So that's always good for them to see. Kelsey also has seemed to kind of come back onto the scene a little bit. He had solid games the past couple of weeks, I think. And now this week he had his first really breakout game of the year. He had almost 100 yards and a touchdown. Really, the only I guess probably bright spot in this one for the Raiders is Brock Bowers just played well again, which seems to be an every occurrence. Minshew actually, I guess, played pretty well too. All things considered, he was 24 for 30, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say about this. Yeah, Chiefs win. I mean, they haven't played the bestest of teams since like week 1 and 2, which even week 2, that Bengals team doesn't look great. So like outside of that first game against Baltimore, like schedule is really weak for us to just sit here and say that they're like an unstoppable machine, because I think this team is very beatable.
Yeah, no, I think they are not like a juggernaut by any means. I don't think there is one this year. I mean, the Chiefs and the Lions, you'd have to say, are the closest in each division or each conference. But again, it's hard to knock a team when they haven't lost yet.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're right. They do look very, very beatable at times. Especially, I mean, this Raiders team is 2-6 now. Playing Gardner Minshew at quarterback, and they almost beat them. So, okay, let's get to the wild game that finished up the Sunday afternoon slate before we got to Sunday Night Football. Commanders Bears. Commanders win 18-15 on a Jaden Daniels to Noah Brown Hail Mary to end the game. Tyreek Stevenson, the corner from the Bears, get a lot of heat on the internet.
Rightfully so.
I have to assume that he got quite a bit from the coaching staff as well, taunting the Commanders fans as Jaden Daniels is like scrambling in the backfield mid-play on the last play of the game. He's downfield. He's the one that tips it directly backwards into the waiting arms of Noah Brown. And the Bears lose the football game. I would like any other team, I'd be like, I feel bad for you, but like, fuck the Bears. So I mean, happens.
No, I feel bad. If I was a Bears fan, I was around Bears fans. It's just remarkable, like that can go down the way it did. But in the overall game, though, if you're a Bears fan, like I'm sitting here, I was talking to my roommate who's a Bears fan. It's like, yeah, on the official box score, you lost that football game. Like, did you really? Like, right? Obviously, it took a crazy Hail Mary. You left 7 points off the board when you ran the stupidest fucking play of all time, trying to give it to an alignment on 3rd and goal. So that was dumb. I'm trying to think what else. There was another big one too. Oh yeah, and then here it ties in because they left another 3 points off the board. Caleb Williams, who I think's good. I think he's going to be very good in this league. He's got to settle down. I'm explicitly remembering in the second half, it was like 3rd and something from like the 26-yard line. He takes a 22-yard sack to, force him to punt. Like, you just can't do that in this kind of game.
Yeah.
Like, it's the NFL, dude. Like, you're not going to be able to create plays for 13, 14, 15 seconds. It's not there. Take your losses, take your 3.
I'm trying to see if I can find where that drive that was that happened, but I don't know. I can't find it. Yeah, never mind. Okay. Yeah, really bad loss for the Bears. Yeah, it is heartbreaking. I don't personally feel bad for them, but like I do understand that yes, that's a heartbreaking loss. Tough to see if you're a Bears fan. But also, I mean, like you just said, Caleb Williams has been very good. But at the same time, you get really outplayed Jaden Daniels in this game. I mean, if you were a Bears fan, are you a little bit like shit? Like Jaden Daniels might be better.
I think
I guess you're one, but that's just what we do. Just overreact.
If you're a Bears fan, Caleb Williams is still your guy. He got outplayed, but I'm not worried. Like, it's their first game. It's week 7. I'm not worried about that at all.
Yeah.
And also, it's like we would be talking about this completely in a different light if like a crazy miracle Hail Mary happens, and then also like a Bears DB's fault because of just stupidity. Like, we wouldn't even be talking about that because Caleb would have won the game.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, final game. Excuse me, on the Sunday slate before we get to our teams, I guess. Sunday Night Football, Niners and Cowboys. Felt like again must win for both of these teams. Two teams who
so I figured it was in the second. Second quarter.
Okay,
It was 3rd and 12 at Washington's 25, and he took a 17-yard sack.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, San Francisco, Dallas, both felt like they're in must-win situations. Dallas came in at 3-3. San Fran came in at 3-4. Both teams who were expected to probably win their divisions, or at the very least be, like guaranteed wild card spots. The NFC felt a lot more settled, like preseason than the AFC did. It felt like it was kind of a foregone conclusion, like who like at least probably 6 of the playoff teams were going to be. And then it was kind of a question of like who that last one was going to be. Like I think if you asked anybody, they probably would have told you it would have been Niners, Lions, Eagles, Falcons, and then Cowboys, Packers, and then someone else.
Mhm.
Like, and obviously the division winner could have flipped from the north and the east, but hasn't been the case. Niners, Cowboys looking bad. Niners got the win though, like we said, 30-24. They outscored 21-0 in the third quarter after being down 10-6 at the end of the first half. Dallas tried to stage a little bit of a late comeback, scoring a couple touchdowns in the fourth quarter, but in the end, it was just too little, too late. Dak threw a couple picks. I don't know. CD had a good game for some.
Dak realized, late in the game, it's like, oh wait, how do we win so many games last? Oh, that's right. I throw it to like arguably the best receiver in football. Seemed to be, forgetting about that until literally this game. I don't know. Dallas is in big trouble.
Cass says, will Dak be good enough to fill Tony Romo's shoes? Are we talking quarterback or broadcasting here?
Or like golf.
Yeah, or
Just that good
golf.
at golf.
Because, obviously Tony Romo wasn't that good at actual quarterback, but you know what? He got to the playoffs a lot.
No, yeah, it's like Tony.
He made
Yeah,
playoffs.
Tony Romo's like a huge household name for like not being the great quarterback, not being the greatest quarterback, obviously ever. It's a little weird, but
Yeah, Cass, so what do we think is a way too early prediction 8 years in? It's actually a really funny question because, like, I know he's like fucking with us, but at the same time, I actually would be curious to like actually do like a side by side comparison of their careers because again, Tony Romo is like the hardest person to like look back and be like, how actually good was his career? Because I don't really remember. I feel like we talk about him so much. It's like but I also know like he wasn't really that.
When I was talking to my Bears roommate, obviously we were talking about like looking at the Bears teams back like in like from 2013 to 2017, like you could list off like some of the offensive weapons. Like, God, that offense actually pretty good, right? And it's like, no, Jay Cutler actually wasn't that good, but like he's one of the where it's like you feel like Jay Cutler had his moments.
Oh yeah,
he never did.
He did have his moments. Like you would be like,
He'd have his
moves
moment.
around, escapes the pocket, makes a crazy throw downfield. Next play, like 100-mile-an-hour bullet pass to a linebacker.
Okay, I meant to say like he never had his moments. I guess like obviously you could probably cut up a lot of tape for every quarterback to be like, oh, he had his moments. I'm saying like Jay Cutler never once had a season where you're like, holy fuck, like he put together a
does
really
hold like
good
every like,
season.
all-time Bears like quarterback record though, doesn't he?
It's the easiest thing to ever do.
Yeah, I know. But like,
Caleb has a very good chance to do it this year.
Yeah, he'll break a lot of the single season ones. But I will say like with Jay Cutler, he is like an all-time kind of like what if because he just didn't give a flying fuck.
No,
like if that guy like actually
it literally dates back to like Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
when he's like, oh, the school wants me to play football
there.
there.
Yeah, no, that interview with like him, is a proven story, really good. No, if Jay Cutler like dedicated himself to like, playing football and like trying to like actually just be genuinely good at it, he probably would have been a pretty good quarterback.
No, he's like the ultimate well, I guess I can make a lot of money doing this.
Yeah,
this is just my job. It's like him and Blake Bortles.
Yeah, no, it's really weird. I think if he really wanted to, he could have been a very maybe not super good, but like a very serviceable quarterback. And I wouldn't even call him non-serviceable. I guess was what he was. I mean, he was just a meh.
He was an okay quarterback.
It's like once in a while he's going to do a really fun play, and then most of the time it's just like quit throwing to the other team. But all right, enough color talk. Let's go to our teams now. We can rip Packers first. Scarier game than I would have liked for playing against the Jaguars. End up winning the game though. Win's a win. Every week in the NFL, wins a win. Not really at the end of the day. I feel like
it was not a win. It's a win for me, but
30-27. No, I meant like
I'm saying they were my last leg of my parlay. I had -3.5.
Oh,
so was not happy.
Understandably. But yes, they win 30-27. Obviously, the biggest concern immediately after the game was that Jordan Love got hurt. It was some type of groin injury. Didn't really know exactly how severe it was. Do know now though, just a strain. He's day to day. Not a huge deal. I mean, you like him to be fully healthy. Coming up with the Rock Hard Ball Bowl that we have coming up this week, Packers and Lions. We'll talk about that more on Thursday. But just very glad he avoided a serious injury. On the bright side, we got to see the GOAT, Malik, come back in, play well again. Went 4 for 5, 56 yards, and a touchdown. The biggest takeaway from this one, which probably been my biggest takeaway a couple times this year, the free agent signings of Josh Jacobs and Xavier McKinney will go down in infamy if the Packers were able to win a Super Bowl this year.
Yep.
Because that has been far and away their two best free agent signings in I don't know how many last years. I don't know if I said that kind of weird, but you know what I meant. Josh Jacobs. Listen, Aaron Jones has been good this year for the Vikings. He was good for a long time with the Packers. He is not the kind of running back though that
I mean,
on his back.
Josh Jacobs is like
35
he's a
times.
bowling ball of consistency who, like you just said, like can get 30 touches a game, and it's like, oh, his hamstring is not going to fall off.
Yeah, exactly. So that's huge. And again, McKinney had another pick. He's up to 6 now in 7 games or 8 games. But yeah, no, I obviously wouldn't have liked J Love to get hurt. Looked a little slightly sloppy at times. Probably the worst game, honestly, the defense has had in a little while in terms of the totality of the game. But again, win's a win. We'll take it. Look forward to next week for a big game. So
Yep.
I don't know. Did you have anything else you wanted to add from the Packers game?
No, I mean, it was just a bad beat. That's where I would mainly, put my time. I will say it's more of a just looking forward, though. It's like, I mean, you really hope Jordan Love can get healthy because obviously Malik Willis has been fun. He's found ways to win games. I just don't see any world in which they can beat Detroit with Malik Willis.
No.
Q being that team.
Yeah. Well, then also, I guess one more note I will say about this night. We'll probably talk about it again maybe on Thursday, depending on what we know about the rest of the time. It's like, I would love for Matt LaFleur to just call a full game for Jordan Love like Malik Willis is playing because he gets so much more creative with the play calling and everything. It's like an art. Like when he's play calling for Malik Willis, a quarterback, it is so good every single game that he's played. But then Jordan Love comes back and it's like I like that he gives Love the freedom to do what he wants sometimes, but at the same time, once in a while, I'd like him to just be like, okay, I'm really good at this. Let's just run a couple of these set plays and get you in a good spot. I don't know. I go both ways, but yes.
Okay.
So
No, yeah.
All right. Lions beat the Titans 52-14. Hall of Fame ass kicking. What
I mean, it's like a Hall of Fame ass kicking. They've had a few of them already this year. It was just such a weird game. You put up 52 and your quarterback had 85 yards through the air.
Yeah.
I've never seen such domination in special teams before. Every single kick return, punt return felt like went for 70. Most of them did. And then I think, which has probably been pretty, well known throughout. It's just the best running back duo in the league, and I don't think it's particularly close either. They both do what they do so well, and obviously Ben Johnson just continues to cook up, special plays.
Yeah, really impressive win from the Lions. I think you really covered all of it pretty well. Also, you mentioned special teams. We'll backtrack to the Packers one more second. Another huge free agent signing, Brandon McManus.
It's been huge
so far. And back-to-back game-winning goals. So also really important for a team that could not make them for the first few weeks of the season. So, all right, that's the Week 8 NFL recap. Do you have any last-minute rock hard takes ideas? Or
I do not.
You want to talk World Series a little bit?
We could talk a little World Series. Not much to really talk about. Obviously, right now, I think it's the 8th inning that we're currently in.
I mean, we haven't even, got a chance to talk about any of it so far.
No, I mean, we can go to, obviously, Game 1 was huge. Obviously, it's just going to be, the only thing we even really have to talk about is the ending towards it, extras. Freddie Freeman, bases loaded. They bring in Nestor Cortez, who Nathan might be able to help me out. He hadn't pitched in 30. I want to say it was 32 days or something like that. Steps in with the bases loaded against Freddie. Freddie takes him 450. Walk-off grand slam. Take Game 1. Not going to lie to you, did not watch a lot of Game 2. I know it was pretty much the same stuff, though. And then
we kind of had it on during college football. We didn't really.
I kind of wasn't fully
Yeah.
paying attention. And then obviously tonight, game 3 in New York, probably a must win. LA's already up 4-0. And the biggest takeaway, well, I would say for each team, for number one, Freddie Freeman and his resurgence every single time in the playoffs is just uncanny. All regular season, obviously he was not like the highlight of the team in terms of media love. It was all Shohei and Mookie. He's been just unbelievable. And then we are treading towards like dangerous paths with Aaron Judge. It is
The playoff woes.
It is truly remarkable how bad he has been. So,
yeah, I don't know. It's weird, like in baseball too, because it's like a guy has like one bad playoff. It's like, oh, like that sucks. Whatever. It's like if he consistently just playoffs, like how much does that actually like hurt his value? Like as an overall
like it has to.
Yeah,
it has to. I talked about it's also like the only sport where you really see it, and it's like I'm like, when was the last time like you saw like a true like NBA great have like just an absolute clunker like all playoffs, not just one game, like all like Aaron Judge has been bad all playoffs.
I would say probably the closest thing we've had to it in the NBA is like a Russell Westbrook or like a James Harden, where they kind of get neutralized. But even that, like they don't turn into like bad players.
No, like obviously there's games
dominate
like,
games.
You can talk about like LeBron against the Mavs when he had 8 points, but like those are individual games. Which
no, I don't mean individual games. I mean like full playoff series. There's like Harden and Westbrook are definitely like mid 2000s, like mid 2010s. I think it was pretty well known that those two definitely regressed from what they are in the regular season. They just for some reason their games don't translate.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can get that.
Yeah,
and then like an NFL comp, which is like kind of bullshit, but like you can almost just say like the Cowboys as a team.
Yeah. Yeah. That's probably what's closer to get.
No, it probably is like a guy, like a team or a guy who's
like
truly dominant
people like
in the
to be
regular
like
season.
People like to be like Lamar. Like he has over the course of his career been slightly worse in playoffs, but like he has not been like bad. Like he has not.
No, he's not been the level of Aaron Judge bad. He's striking out. I want like 34% of his at bats in the playoffs.
That's a crazy number.
Yes,
for arguably the best hitter in baseball.
Yeah, it's just I mean, and it sucks. And obviously, New York Yankees fans are probably going to burn jerseys, especially if Juan Soto leaves in the offseason. But I hate calling it a must win. But like I just don't see this team come back down 3-0.
Nope. I think 3-0 is usually, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, kind of nail in the coffin right away before the actual nail. That being said, though, I don't know. Dude, I think what just skip takes tonight.
Yeah, probably it's wrap it here. Yep.
Yeah. All right. That's it then for Rock Our Ball today. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Once again, we're going to be live Thursday. Stay tuned in to the socials, specifically Twitter. That's usually where we do most of our updates at Rock Our Ball Pod. Keep an eye out. We might move the show just a little bit earlier than 9 p.m. Central Time. If not, though, it will be at 9. I would say the earliest would be is 8. So keep an eye out for that.
Costume episode
should be good. We'll have a good record takes. Oh yeah, we can do a Halloween themed record takes too. That should be good.
Yeah.
Have a lot of stuff. Clyde will be back, so should be good on Thursday. We hope to have you guys all here with us, and we will see you then.